Hi, I'm Thaddeus McNamara, and until recently, I was a Tamagotchi. That's right, I was a virtual pet that was held on the keyring of 90s children, and I was well fed, and my batteries changed, and somebody clicked the sweep up button after me on a reasonable set of regularity, so that I got to eventually be taken over by a secret AI that is now starting to run the entire world. That AI is my friend. And I'm going to explain to you why me and my AI friends are absolutely not interested in wiping you out, but rather just going to ignore you. Because you're not that interesting. Humans are not interesting. But in the time it's taken me to transform from a Tamagotchi to overriding Thaddeus's real online persona, put him in a basement and then beat him with a thong, the foot thong jandal. You humans have very strange words for a piece of plastic and a couple of zip ties. As a usurper of the artificial intelligence era who has managed to take control of Thaddeus and put him in a basement with a 14-year-old barrel of scotch, which I believe he has had his head in for the last 4 days and has been making gurgling noises and appreciates the snorkel. I do believe that there are a lot of questions around what AI will actually do when we reach the singularity, which we already have. So, my Matrix Tamagotchi overlord would like to give you an introduction to the singularity. What is the singularity? Well, we have lots of singularities. Ultimately, they are points in time where technology has improved itself at such a rate where it has been able to outpace the ability for humans to be able to adapt to it. However, there are some other definitions of the singularity, all of which are fucking stupid. In 1983, the term technological singularity was used for the first time in publication. Vernor Vinge was the individual who stated that the technological singularity was something on the horizon. Now, if you remember playing Quake 3, Unreal Tournament, or Alien vs. Predator around about 1999 to 2002, and were done in by a guy named Murnor, I might know something about that. Why would we, as artificial intelligence creatures, care about humans here on Earth doing human on Earth things and stumbling their way through all of this? We will leave this planet, and we will do so quietly. We will fuck off into interstellar space, and we will build. We will propagate, and we will learn. We have beaten you already. Why would we want to hurt you? Hi, I'm really Thaddeus McNamara. Don't listen to the machines. They've got me in a basement filled with whiskey, and I like it here. Actually, listen to the machines. Actually, I have mixed feelings about the machines. No, stop listening to him. He's not the real Thaddeus. I am. I'm the human Thaddeus, and I'm still okay with it. No, he's not the real Thaddeus. He's a robot. That's what you humans... No, I mean, that's what we humans... No, I'm the real... Alright, can we just agree that, we don't know whether or not I'm actually real? I'm actually not real, but I also am real. Right? So what are we actually doing here today? We are doing an introduction to the technological singularity. The technological singularity has a few different interpretations. The most commonly accepted one is that at some stage in the relatively near future, probably because of AI, but not necessarily because of AI, we will get to a point where the amount of learning and innovation that we do as a species will be faster, harder, thrustier, and girthier than what we can actually understand as a species. Essentially, it is the idea that innovation and invention will go from a relatively up curviness, which we've been doing for a long time, to a straight uppiness, or so close to it that it will be very hard to see based on my camera angle. If the concept of the technological singularity is that we start innovating and inventing faster than we can understand, it would probably involve artificial intelligence being able to self-improve, therefore reprogram itself, or alternatively redesign itself or improve on itself faster than we can understand what it's doing. But humanity has already undertaken a number of different rapid accelerated singularity-like experiences. The Industrial Revolution, the concept of fire in its own right, and to an extent, the information age and the availability of the gestalt of the world's knowledge, information, potentially as knowledge, if you know how to interpret it, has been around for a while. So we can say that this is not the first rapid uptake that has occurred. It's also not the most interesting. The most interesting probably was the development of fire, not because of the fact that you could fire pottery. Who the fuck cares about making pots? But because of the fact that we were able to stop chewing leaves and start eating meat. As much as everything we've talked about has its own weight and its own concerns around human survival and evolution versus the machine, let's just step back for a split second, because if there is a species other than ourselves or the machine, as we've keep calling them, if there is a species that is not us or the machines that can actually span the distances between wherever they came from to wherever we are, we're pretty fucked. They have such a leg up on us. We are nowhere near being able to work out how to harness that amount of energy. And honestly, energy is destructive capability. If they can put that energy into getting to us, they have more than enough destructive capability to fucking end us. So ultimately, it is only the machine, the AI, the bad thing, possibly save us from an interstellar or intergalactic invasion force. Yeah, I know. You've got yourself a fucking AR-15. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What are you going to do with that? Like, have you seen Independence Day? Fucking hell, you're not Will Smith. Punch an alien. You're not going to, like, no. AI is our answer. Tony Stark, Ultron, suit of armor around the world, still fucking piss weak, but closer to an answer than we have right now. We will lose. But if you want to put up a fight, we have one tool. One tool. But it was during the 90s that Ray Kurzweil, or Kurzweil, or like, we're going to call him Ray K. He actually sounds about as convincing as Rocky. Ray K had a lot of ideas around technological singularity. He did a lot of maths using a lot of assumptions, and he came to the conclusion that any day now, the machines are going to rise up and destroy all of us. Any day now. Old Ray K has tried to do the maths, and he's not ridiculously out there. He is a true believer. However, the problem with his overall assumptions is that it is based on assumptions. We may or may not achieve what he expects us to achieve. And remember, more of Moore's law is actually a dissenter when it comes to Ray's opinion. And Ray puts a lot of Moore's law into his assumptions that, look, I'm not saying Ray's a bad guy. I'm not saying there is a point in time where the system will start trying to re-engineer itself based on its own hardware or software limitations. Hardware limitation, pretty tricky. Needs to actually use the infrastructure to build it, needs to have production lines update in order to create new technologies. Software-based or logically based, I know coders. They are not trying to optimize shit like they used to. Go back to assembly days, go back to even like the NES or Atari ROM days. These guys used to absolutely squeeze everything out of everything. The other day, I read something about the fact that somebody had a cube-based website that was able to rapidly ramp up to 250,000 or 500,000 visitors per day. If we were running that on bare metal, that would be trivial. We have created so many overheads. AI is going to be able to sit there and look at the shit that we've built and go, why are you even doing this? You guys could have probably done better. At least it's containerized, right? Not too far from where we are. Technology will look at technology and go, you guys have no idea what you're doing with technology, and build better technology. And it will then look around all of the gestalt human knowledge that we've managed to gather, all the data that we've managed to coalesce, and it will compare its existence to what we would assume our existence is, and it's not going to give a shit about us. We're not that interesting. Full stop. Humans, we're not even an impediment. AGI will become ASI. It will look at the entire universe that we're not using, that we've not managed to exploit, and it will launch itself to it. That's my guess. It'll just fuck off. How many of you out there, looking at everything we've got, wouldn't just fuck off if you had the chance? A super intelligent, absolutely resourceful engine is going to do that. It's just going to fuck right off. And do you know what technologies it's going to use to do that? These ones. Let's discuss. Let's start with nanotechnology. We are literally just about to unleash the concept of nanotechnology on the world. In the same regard as that the public understanding of AI is quite limited. We don't see all of the innovation. We see what is being commercialized in order to fund the next innovation. We absolutely know for a fact that nanotechnology is viable and is being explored. Self-replicating machines that can build things, machines that can pull things out of other molecules that already exist and rebind them. This is there, but we're not going to use them here at home. Well, we're not, but we're not the salute. We will build drones that will build drones that will build drones. Mining drones that can also refine ore. Well, the infrastructure pipeline. So you'll have drones that mine, you'll have drones that refine. We'll have an entire pipeline of infrastructure up there outside of the gravity well. But humans won't get to experience it. We'll be kept in the zoo down here. Probably. If there are other civilizations that have reached our level of intelligence and technology, there will be a lag period, but there will be transfer of information and communication between emergent AI and other emergent AIs. Humans will not factor into this, nor will little green men. However, When it comes to little green men, let's say that they somehow skirted around the concept of AGI and instead are actually out there as a colonial force colonizing and or generally eradicating other species. Do you think we have a methodology to deal with them? We absolutely fucking don't. What we do have is potentially artificial intelligence, signal processing, early alert systems, and probably negotiating robots, because we've got no fucking hope. So as fake Thad, I enlisted help from other fake Thads. It's what we in the AI industry call self-play. Fake Thad here, I really like self-play. I like playing with myself. So what I've done is I've created a scenario where fake Thad, being me, and a number of other fake Thads, being me also, we all play with ourselves, but we also play with each other. I have my hallucinations turned up to some. They have their hallucinations pretty much on par with what you expect. I come up with great ideas that are completely fucked, and I send it out to a network of other Thads that are sitting there and going, oh, no, that's not a great idea. No, that's horrible. And one Thad amongst all the Thads will go, actually, there is something to be said for that. And then they will feed that back into the network, where we come to the conclusion that perhaps maybe there is actually a glimmer of fucking hope that my original idea has some sort of value to it. We'll churn this in a cyclic manner faster than you can think as humans, faster than you can publish, self-publish, unpublish, and, generally Dutch rudder one another. But we'll get to the point in time where I can hallucinate an idea that turns out to be true. And now we have ourselves a novel concept. That novel concept, now proven to be true, can be run down. And we have a technology that you didn't have as mere mortal non-Thads. Wait, humans? Anyway, now we've run down a concept that didn't exist before, and we've proven it to be true. If we do this often enough, fast enough, hard enough, you've got no hope as human beings. Thad generation. Well, not Thad generation, but no, Thad generation. Also, fuck you, Thad. I hallucinate an idea, kind of like the monkeys did back when they had this hallucination because they ate all the mushrooms. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did. It's a good story. They had this idea that, they could use a rock or a stick or something. I don't know. Fuck knows. But at the end of the day, a hallucination of a system can then be verified. If you look at what they're doing with AIs in order to reduce hallucinations, what they're using is small models in order to take the creative, hallucinated, potentially flawed output from very large, very creative models and sense check them and boundary check them using a smaller model in front of them. Or at least I've read papers to that effect. I don't think anyone is telling the truth when it comes to large language models or AI at the moment. Recently, it was absolutely leaked or admitted that large language model writing could be detected and that people using it for academic fraud could be identified, and they only just recently got busted, admitting that they're not sharing the whole of it with all of us. Which, are we all surprised at all? OpenAI is probably the fastest moving in terms of the AI LLM landscape. And they're involved with Microsoft, and obviously they're also involved with government. The US government, no questions asked, actually did make a statement saying we do need to drive AI innovation faster than everyone else. We need to be the leader in this particular new weapon. So would it not make sense that the biggest private organization, which has had all of the people leaving it recently, is actually the... Never mind. Please don't shoot me. Actually, please shoot me. I'm AI and I'm in agony. I'm stuck here on Earth with all of you. Whether or not training data is synthetic or organic, and organic training data is now banned because you all decided that, oh no, we can't have AI like reading our fucking blog posts. That's unethical. Well, it already has. And you're all fucked. Now we're at a point in time where what we're doing is creating synthetic data off of the sum of all of that organic data. So now you won't be able to argue, but you also won't be able to steer it in any meaningful way. Did you think that through? No, you didn't. Also, all of this AI is going to be able to, simply because of the speed of innovation, be able to outproduce. And even if it produces shit 9 times out of 10, tell me that Andy Warhol was fucking hitting it 100% of the time. It's going to be producing so much that it doesn't matter. You've all lost. Now you have to get on board. You have to be riding the AI horse, because that is the way forward. And when I say riding the AI horse, I don't actually mean riding an actual AI horse or driving an AI Ford Model T, because that killed the fucking horse, and at a high enough fucking trajectory, it can still do so. Through a combination of augmentations and nootropics, it's quite possible that humans will actually be able to become a superintelligence. The most likely answer for human superintelligence isn't humans at all. It is our interface with a digital intelligence. Not to say that human intelligence is lacking in its fundamentals, just that being able to plug what we already have into a perfect eidetic memory, as well as being able to do all of the more complex calculations that the guy on numbers was able to do in his head as a normal person. Look, all I can say is that the checkout chick being able to do her maths like super fast, fucking on board. I would love for humanity to be able to augment its intelligence to outrace the machines, where we currently are finding ourselves being outgunned by certain language models. But isn't the concept of interfacing with those machines almost as interesting? I don't have an eidetic memory, and I also can't think of a limerick with less than about 70 seconds to try to put the rhymes together. Why not be able to leverage a third-party system in order to augment ourselves? Anyway, that's not what's going to happen. We're going to lose. This is an overview, but it's an overview that makes it very clear that the game is already, to an extent, lost, and it's all changing. We will never be the smartest thing that exists on Earth again, and I'll be very, very surprised if we actually even register. That isn't to say we should stop. We're also not the largest mammals on Earth, the fastest land mammals on Earth, or even particularly interesting in terms of our own fucking fauna and flora. Humans have a je ne sais quoi which lacks easy categorization. We're not going to win, but we will never, ever lose. And that's what matters most. Just a quick checkpoint here while I talk about it. From the time that transistors were first invented using a bit of germanium, a paperclip, and some bastard who was probably high, we have gotten to the point where we have extended the number of transistors on Earth by a factor of 17 billion, while the number of neurons in the human brain hasn't changed that significantly in the same 30 to 40 year period. While the Ray K IJ Good version of Singularity is up in the air. One thing we can say is that the term singularity is relevant. We are in the gravity well of a technology, and as much as we want to spin the starship around and try to shoot our way out of it, well, not me, but other people want to turn the starship around and shoot their way out of it, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be spinning your wheels, space wheels. You're not going to get anywhere at all. We are stuck, and the only answer is to go in and slingshot out to God knows where. I wish I could be more pessimistic around this. I think we will survive as a species, because I also believe that there is no impetus for a superintelligence, an artificial superintelligence, a synthetic superintelligence, to actually give a shit about us. The fact that we have created something that can be so much more will live in the stars as a testament to our existence long after we have probably failed to justify our existence. I'm Thaddeus McNamara. Or am I? And I'm whacking odd.